At approximately 1 a.m., Agent Duffy received a phone call from Agent Reflex stating that he'd found someone in the house and that he needed backup immediately. While on the phone, Duffy heard 2 shots fired, and then the phone line went dead. At that point, he woke up Strauss, informed him to get Agnes, and he raced to the scene. From what I'm able to understand, when Agent Duffy arrived, he found Strauss asleep on the couch in the den, with 2 bullet holes in the ceiling above him. When he was questioned, Reflex had no idea that he was at the house or making the phone call. The group was able to escape before any police arrived, although they were now on their radar from everything I can understand. The next day, Agent Duffy and Reflex went to talk with a local friendly named Emiliaro, who is a parapsychologist at Central Washington University. He agreed to help them investigate the house and set up a time for later that day. While that was going on, Agent Strauss and Agnes went to go talk with the local coroner, who was less than cooperative. Agnes placed a phone call to me to see if I could work some magic, and I was able to get something to her, but it took some time. While waiting for that, they called the other friendly that we'd given them, Elizabeth Tucker, and asked her to track down any sales of furniture or antiques from the house. At this point, I think the group was starting to suspect that the house was the cause of all of this, that something was inside of it. But I don't know. I don't know if they were ready to admit it or not. Welcome back to the Dark Thoughts Podcast. We are the Chaos Engine. This is episode 6. And I've got the same group of lovely individuals around the table as we did the previous 5 times. Because we're not tired of each other yet.
They made it this far, yeah.
Exactly. You guys want to introduce yourselves real quick? We'll eventually probably do this. I figure out episode 10 we should be good enough to do this anymore. But the first couple, let's make sure we keep it fresh.
Well, I'm Tyler, playing Agent Strauss.
I am Misha. I am playing Agent Agnes.
I am Acid Reflux, being played by Cody.
I am Jake, playing Agent Jimothy Duffy.
I took a Acid Reflex character sheet so I could look at the skills real quick, because I don't have anything on there. It shows me the skills, so I need to be able to tell people what to roll for.
Yeah,
I think that's like the most important thing as a dungeon master that I just always need is a blank character sheet.
Yeah, I wish I don't know if Delta Green makes a GM screen.
That'd be dope.
But it'd be nice to just have. I should probably just get a piece of paper and tape it over the one I use of all of the skills. That would probably be the smartest thing to do.
When we were doing my Open Legend game, you were using a screen. I think it was the Starfinder screen. Yeah. They taped the Open Legend stuff.
I just made my own and taped it on there. So I probably will do that for this.
You know what I really want is one of those Delta Green operations jackets.
Yeah.
It says like Delta Green.
Dude.
It's like the windbreaker.
I keep forgetting to email them. Like I have it on the pre-order. I think
my girlfriend might break up with me because she's like, it's just too nerdy. It's just one step too much. Because people are gonna come up to you and be like, what's
Delta Green?
Yeah, what is that? And I'm gonna have to fucking sit there and be like, or I'm just be like, nothing. Don't worry about it. That's what I do most of the time.
I had a friend that texted me some music. He's like, "Hey man, this would be perfect for your next Delta Green game." I was like, "Thank you, thank you for thinking of me."
Yeah.
Like, I never thought someone would text me music recommendations for like an RPG. So
That's awesome. You've made it.
That's a good friend.
So check out Vatican Shadows. Thanks, Rick.
Oh, dude, I knew it was.
You
Rick.
knew, yeah, you knew it was.
Yeah.
quick aside.
Yes.
There is a handler screen for Delta Green on Drive-Thru RPG.
Well, I need the fucking. I want to like. An actual
you can. I mean, there's the real info that you can just print out.
Yeah, I know.
Put on that
okay.
thing.
Well, I might have to download that now. I had to buy it and get it if I don't already have it. I might have already gotten it and I just don't know it. I've got too many things on Drive-Thru RPG. No, I buy too much shit. Like, I think at one point I downloaded everything I bought off Drive-Thru RPG, and it was like 20 gigs.
Damn.
Jesus.
Of like maps and like RPGs and everything. It was stupid. It was a couple nights of just sitting here downloading. So
that's almost too nerdy.
Yeah, no, tell me about it. Because I'm never gonna play half of it. That's the sad thing. So, all right. So you guys kind of split off. We're going to say it's about like 11:30 noon. You guys meet back up. I think your guys' perspective, adventures,
actually
side things
meet
have
up,
gone. Yes.
I want to actually call Duffy before we meet up.
Just him?
Well, I mean, yeah. Just keep it pretty brief. Like,
I guess here's my thing. Do you want me to have Misha and Cody take their headphones off, or?
Well, Cody takes his headphones off.
Okay, there we go.
Womp womp.
Yeah, because we are in the same car.
Yeah, I know.
Ring-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Ring-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Ding dong.
Go for Duffy. Be like, hey, Duffy.
Jim here.
Yeah, you guys having any luck? Kind of a bust looking for a developer or the coroner.
Yeah, we got this ghost hunter out here at Central who says he wants to do some ghost hunting out at the house. I think it might be a good idea, but I mean, he's a ghost hunter.
Sounds like you're doing a little better than us. I don't know, might be worth it. Hey, just Reflex right next to you?
Yeah, but he kind of turns up the radio a little bit. He's like, yeah, we're passing this, we're passing mile marker, blah 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 blah.
Hey, he seemed weird today.
I don't know. Has he?
I don't think so. No.
No. Normal day after. I mean, normal after last night seems completely fine.
Yeah, that's a little weird last night. Okay, keep an eye on him for me. Where do you want to meet?
Perkins.
Just call this Operation Perkins.
Yeah.
All right, be there in a couple minutes.
Okay,
we'll find you there.
All right,
regular booth.
All right, love you. Bye.
You're just so used to it, yeah. I do it all the time.
It's like shit.
Oh my God.
So you both the Perkins stuff. I didn't mean that. That's what.
No, he meant it.
He honestly doesn't even realize that he said it. He doesn't even know.
Don't worry, sport.
Yeah, worry about what?
All right, so you guys pull up to Perkins about noon.
Am I here?
Yeah, you're there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just asking questions about you.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like you guys just get by now this is the third time you've been there in 2 days.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm in 24 hours.
Yeah, dude. And maybe I think maybe less because we went after the house and then immediately after that, an hour after that, and then now we're back at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So it's like dude.
It's 12 hours.
Yeah. I mean, we probably see.
It's the same shift, dude. Yeah. It's the same shift.
They're walking out. They're like, what the?
Hash browns, an unsweetened iced tea, and you know I'm going to be chewing.
That's where you go. It's the only place you can chew in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can pretty much do it anyway.
Yeah, you just gotta get caught. Okay, so you guys sit down for Perkins. I feel like I need to print out a Perkins menu now, so you guys can pick out what you're gonna get. But
I'll look that up.
Make a trip to Ellensburg. We can fucking take 3 Perkins menus.
Yeah.
We're not gonna. We don't need 3 of them. But
yeah. Yeah, so you guys are sitting there at your Perkins booth. Again, they'll probably put you over in the corner. Maybe you guys now are just requesting
we just have our normal table. Yeah.
And what do you guys talk about as you guys are there getting your not eggs over my hammy?
I'm getting the everything omelet is what I'm getting.
There you go.
So Strauss orders coffee and the everything omelet. Kind of go over what we had happen at the coroner first. Mention that the coroner wasn't really helpful. I mean, he wouldn't allow us access to his notes, any part of his investigation, just what was officially published. It's a suicide.
We did call higher ups Delta Green to help us out with getting a warrant. It was practically the only thing that was going to unseal those tot lips. So we're working on getting that warrant. We were told to wait a couple hours to see what she can do. So that's it.
We might have to, because maybe that's why he got his own ID, because he was just like, I'm going to do it my fucking self.
Oh,
So we might have to just send one of us in there and do it ourselves.
Yeah, I love it. Espionage.
You know.
Oh yeah, and then the place that developed the photographs basically gave us nothing. They just said, he was one person working, other people work there, they might know, but he didn't have any information on... We showed him a picture of Rutzak, nothing.
They might get back to us. He's going to talk to the other employees. I left him my number, so I didn't even recognize him. I can't believe I didn't think about this. Is there any more notes, anything in Donnelly's notes about, like the, what am I trying to say? Like the antique end table stuff?
No.
Okay.
You didn't see that.
Yeah, we also tried to look into see if there's any record on the sale of that antique table we found in the green box, see if it came from the house, but so far nothing. The antique dealer might look into it for us.
Do any of us have any black bag training? I imagine it's probably only going to be Levi.
Some what training?
Like, where the government breaks into your house and spies on you while you're at the grocery store and you don't know about it.
Didn't know that was like a specific thing.
It's called black bag.
That is very
operations.
Specific.
Yeah, and scary that it is a real
scary.
fucking thing.
Off
Yeah.
topic, did you know that the female version of a cuckold is a cuck queen?
Oh,
That is really off topic.
What made you think
Yeah,
of that?
that's-
I just wanted people to know something off. Like, that's weird. There's like a specific name for this very
Right,
specific
now I'm worried
thing.
about Misha.
Take your headphones off.
Cody, do you talk to something?
Nope.
Fuck, I had a real question or a real thing. Oh,
I'm so sorry.
Black bag. I think maybe Levi would have like a bit of the skill set necessary, but like it wouldn't be. He didn't have specific training on that. He might be able to get into the house, but like beyond that,
I'm thinking the coroner's office. Because like
I don't feel like.
you like Navy SEAL Green Beret could break in.
Oh, he could.
And,
He
like,
could get in, but it's like.
Oh, you wouldn't know what to do with the files and stuff.
Well, that and like his training would be more like we're not sneakily breaking into this little terrorist house. We're busting the door down. Like we're getting in one way or another. And
You're more of a John Rambo type.
I just
Yeah.
picture it from like Zoolander, where he's just like got the computers, like, how do you get them out of the phone?
the files are in the computer.
What?
So let's kind of go. It seems like you guys are waiting on some information. You guys can try to maybe go to like the library, or like there's maybe a place to look up the history and maybe do some research of like older, like go to an actual library with like microfilm or whatnot and try to look up history on the house and the various people that were in it. See if you can pull more information that way. You could also try to like catch this. Like you two, he doesn't know you two exist, the coroner. So you two could maybe try to catch him like while he's out and about. Like maybe if he goes to get a beer or something like that, you might be able to like mosey up to him and like, you know, get him drunk and get him to talk or something like that. There are like, a couple different options there that you guys, if you guys have never really played Delta Green before, kind of just want to lay out like what you guys have like ahead of you in a sense. Like you two haven't talked with him, so there's a chance of you two going to try to talk with him and like schmooze with him. Generally, you guys can do more research into the house by checking out like city records, going to a library, trying to dig into stuff. There's just that, those kind of things that you guys, as you're waiting for this stuff to get back to you.
I want to spend at least a little bit of time looking at any local papers, anything like that.
Sure.
From the last couple weeks to see if there's any record of a grave robbery.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was the coffin we found with the kid in it was fresh dirt. So I'm thinking within the last week.
Freshly dug, baby.
Yeah. There's got to be a record of that somewhere. I mean, I'm sure we could also figure out, we could narrow it down, figure out where the kid was buried, find like the news article from when he was drowned and the family left. But I want to know when. I'm trying to put together a timeline.
Gotcha.
What Rutzak did and when.
So you're gonna go look for that. What about the rest of y'all?
I'd probably continue working with Strauss, just because you guys seem to have a game plan. Also, acid reflux kind of freaks me out a little bit right now, so...
Fair.
Just like my name, I just make everyone mildly uncomfortable.
Jim Duffy has worked with a lot of people with substance abuse issues because they're informants for the DEA. So he's used to erratic behavior.
Nice. I don't know. I guess if we're just picking stuff to do more research on, I don't know. I want to find out more about the rest of the Torre family.
Me too.
Yeah.
Dude, me too.
Yeah. See, I mean, yeah.
Simpatico.
Yep.
Yeah. So I could, I don't know if you wanted to do that, but I could do that while you do something else if you want.
Well, how about you guys? I mean, it sounds like you all want to do research on stuff, right?
Yes.
So how about we do like a montage of you guys going around searching through various places, and then we'll see how your roles play out, and then what you guys find. Does that work?
Cool.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to need each of you to give me either a bureaucracy or history roll. And depending on how many people pass, then...
Do I get any kind of bonus to it?
No.
Dang. Well, I got 10% in both, so...
I have... we'll deal with that.
That's a failure. 57.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
So I, because I didn't sleep, I get a 20% to my checks, but I wanted to use a stimulant.
That's how you're chewing.
Yeah. But, so then I have to roll a 1d6 at the top of my day.
Okay.
So should I roll that
Yeah,
now and see if it's, okay.
Nice.
You need a d6. Oh.
These new cool ones that Chris made.
There you go.
Okay.
He's so good at making those, y'all.
Ugh, 1 hour. So I'm a sleepy boy.
Use a sleepy boy. All right.
Is it 1 hour has passed, so it's like doesn't even affect me, or am I
That would have been
still
at the
an
top of
hour?
the day, so yeah, I
Okay,
assume so.
cool. So I guess I'll go with bureaucracy.
Okay.
I want to find out. I want to look into the city records about the slab in the garage, the foundation that they just poured.
Okay.
Fuck no, I got
Okay.
nothing. 71 over
Big
50.
rolls.
So you guys spend how long? I guess how long do you guys spend doing all this? Because it's a total. It's going to take you guys like pretty much a day to figure this all out, to figure out like the history on everything.
I mean, I'm looking until I figure out what cemetery and where this body was taken from.
Okay.
I think Agnes would just keep trying to keep busy and waiting for the call from Agent... Gosh, who's our higher up again?
Director West.
Director West, just to see like when we can get that warrant to get further information. Because
Okay.
it definitely seemed like there's more information to be told.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you look for like you're looking for specifically for the grave robbery.
Yeah.
You find, if you're looking through it, you find that there's like, in an off chance there was one kind of mentioned, it would have been like 2 days before Retzak killed himself. So,
Wow.
but it's just like kind of like a blurb note in the back of something.
And that's exactly what I'm looking for, because he'll want to then go take a look at it and maybe put it back.
Okay, as for the slab, that was built... trying to make sure I figure this out.
And I would probably only dig into it for about an hour, because in his mind he's like, well, somebody could have just poured that themselves over the weekend and not reported it
Was
to the
it-
city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't find anything on this slab.
Okay, cool. Because now his next thought on that in the garage is going and jackhammering it up and seeing what's under there.
Do we think there's something
There'll be a lot of
suspicious in
noise.
Well, so it was the house used to be a porch
this? Yeah.
that they have poured concrete into to make a garage
Yeah.
and seal it all up.
Ooh.
And in Delta Green, I'm like, yeah, you pour concrete to fucking get rid of a body, like you pour it over a body or whatever. Like,
Oh yeah, that's a Bones
I mean-
episode.
you know,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
I mean, I hadn't really thought about that,
Yeah.
but I mean,
And
I guess.
I think if we still want to play along with something like we work for the gas company, we can be like, well, there's a gas line right here that we need to get to. So,
We do have one of Rotzak's fake IDs was working for a gas company.
so I think that would be a good way to keep up this whole ruse. To just be like, we are, even if we contact headquarters, whatever, to get us like our own fake IDs or try to make our own for the gas company. If anybody comes asking questions, I know if someone was fucking around with my neighbor's house and they were like, we work at the gas company, I'd be like, okay, bye.
Yeah. No
Especially
further
the house
information
that's,
needed.
the house that's been abandoned for 16 months.
wouldn't even
Well,
think twice.
Not 16 months.
Yeah.
When did she kill herself?
Oh, it's been a while, hasn't it? I thought it was something like 16.
has been
She
16 months.
bought it 16 months ago.
But wasn't it like 3 days after she bought it, or like a month?
It was like a
after?
month. It
Yeah.
was almost a year after she bought it.
Oh wow.
When
Okay.
we- when
either
we
way,
read
either way,
the
it's been
timeline.
it's been empty for a couple
Right.
months. So I mean, yeah, I could easily see we could just maybe we don't even need to switch around the ID. Just be like, hey, we're from the gas company. Flash it.
Oh,
if
yeah.
anybody asks any questions.
You're good at flashing.
Jim, is it pertinent to know when the cement was poured? Do we know? Like, is that important or no?
I think it would be because it would tell us who poured it, and then we can dig into their.
Because that should be available
Whatever
via
they're
city
doing.
records. They had to file a permit.
But
Unless-
I just rolled so bad that in my mind I'm like, well,
Yeah.
someone probably just did it themselves and didn't report it to the city. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Well, if that were the case, then the city records wouldn't be updated at all with the current plan, right?
Right.
Or you didn't spend enough time. Like, you just...
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, I just rolled on a bureaucracy that's like, oh, that's not going to tell me anything. So in character, I'm thinking like, I'm not going to find anything.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if like how accessible that data was modified the success rate, because like if it's something that's really hard, then you'd have to roll really low, or if it's something that's like it's just a city record, like it should be pretty. I can literally look that up in my house.
Yeah.
you know, you can all that's publicly available.
My character, since he couldn't find it, is assuming that it doesn't exist.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's not there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he just either got too impatient or didn't know didn't know what to search for properly.
Gotcha.
Okay, so what do you guys... we'll say that'll probably take like an hour of time. What else are you guys going to do for the day? What's your guys' plan? Besides, I know, Agnes, you're going to wait around for the call back.
Well, I do want to. If we haven't told the rest of the agents, I believe it's tonight that we're going to have
Seance?
the psychoanalyst come by now.
Parapsychologist.
Yeah, I mean, I said we would call him, so we can do it whenever.
Okay.
We can do it tonight or whenever.
okay.
Yeah.
I figure, yeah. I mean, I'd see that we probably should do it tonight if we're able to do it, get it rolling.
The only thing is, I now have a -20 to my checks because I am sleep deprived. So if we do it again for another night, it might be. My character might just be kind of screwed, but I honestly don't fucking care.
We could
2 all-nighters for a cop, like, who cares? Like,
I know.
yeah, it's
we
nothing.
could take a night off of doing that while we wait for some more info and
Yeah.
contact them tomorrow night.
I'll go to a gas station and get some of those rhino pills. I'll be good.
For y'all that went to see the antique dealer.
Oh, we just called her.
Yeah.
We were lazy.
Yeah. Was there any interest to see anything in the rest of the house, or was it just the table that y'all talked about?
I was mostly just looking to see if we could put together a timeline of when things were removed.
Yeah,
the
you
only
guys
thing
learned-
they have is a sale of
There was 3 things sold in 1956.
yeah, from apparently would be the Wheeler estate, an end table, a piano, and an armoire.
Yep.
And that's
An
the only.
armoire?
Yeah, that's the only thing they got a record of.
Did we see an armoire in the house?
No, because it got sold.
Oh, it's sold from the house.
Yeah, that's
Oh, okay.
the only things.
Damn.
The only things that she could give us from
So
anything related to that house
Is-
those things being sold.
that table in the green box, the one that was sold from the Wheeler sale?
It doesn't seem to be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is there any significance?
See,
to
that was
those?
my thought. Is I want to see did that come from the house?
Yeah, did they
Or
just
is
like rebuy it for some reason?
Yeah, or is
no,
it?
that-
Is,
no.
yeah, is it just an unrelated thing in the green box?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we know that 3 things were sold from the house, but we don't know if that table is from that.
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the way it's described in the green box. It's a table, like an antique
Right.
table, and this is an end table that was sold. So it's just a
And-
Got it. Okay.
yeah.
We also have figured out that the last time, possibly, more than possibly, that piano was in the house was in 1956.
Oh, 56.
Oh, who was?
That would be where we
The
guess.
Therese.
No, that's
Well, it's the end of the
No,
Wheelers
the-
and the beginning of the Crease.
Oh.
yeah. Therese would have been after Crease.
Yep.
Right. So is
Or no, wait.
do we-
No, yeah, actually, yeah, would have been.
Very interesting.
that is like the last year, which makes sense. They're like, well, they died then, right? Then their stuff, someone sold off their stuff, or there's something. Yeah, I'm wondering if is there any did the antique dealer say anything? There's some significance to those items at all?
Nothing.
She said she
They
would
were
look
sold.
into it a little
Yeah.
bit further
Yeah, I was
and
gonna
see
take
what
her.
she could do.
Yeah, it'll take her a day to
Yeah.
Okay,
get
perfect.
back to you guys.
Anything about the room of mirrors, the wall of mirrors?
No, didn't ask
No.
about. Didn't think to ask about that.
Okay, we might. I mean, just mention it when she calls back, or if
Well-
we go see her or something.
I mean, we could ask her about it, but all we could really say is like, oh, it was built in, 1926, the Wall of Mirrors. Is there anything you can give us historically on Wall of Mirrors?
Maybe
Well,
she
yeah.
could come take a look at it.
You want to bring someone else in that house?
I don't want to go. I want to burn the house myself.
But we're still not going to find out, because we were also talking, what if, for whatever's happening to the house, what if it happened before the slab of marble fell on what was the
the
creator's
original
name?
The original
Michael
owner.
Wheeler. Michael Wheeler,
Was Wheeler the first owner?
That's what
He
I
built the
Michael
house.
Yeah.
Wheeler.
Okay, and he died because the slab of marble fell on him.
Yeah.
So what if this is... I was specifically thinking a Jumanji situation. Something in the foundation, or like that slab of marble, or like...
Can we dig around the foundation? I mean, why not?
Well,
I mean, again,
the gas company came.
that's a lot. That's
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of. If you guys are trying to be discreet, that's one thing. That's
Yeah.
not a discreet
Yeah.
thing to get like tools out there and start
But
digging.
The main thing is just like, it might be like, even if the house is burnt down, like, who's to say that when they build the next house on top of that, which they're going to do, it's not the same shit happening. And I want to see if that slab... So, did we notice a slab of marble anywhere in the house? The kitchen?
Nope.
Nowhere.
You know,
I mean, there might have been marble built into stuff, but I don't. I think he died at like a marble quarry. I believe it was.
Oh, it wasn't like they're
Okay.
putting a slab in the house and it fell on
no.
him. Oh.
That's what I thought.
you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
other
died
thing
on.
is
He
we
died
don't-
on the job.
we don't even necessarily need to take care of the house ourselves. Now that I think about it,
What do you mean?
Meteor?
we just have to determine if it's a threat.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, has anyone got the black
And
material?
there could be other Delta Green resources that can deal with it.
Yeah. But we do need to find out what happened to
Yeah.
our agent.
Yes.
Agent? No,
That's what I want to put together. Put together a timeline of what he's doing. So, as far as I understand, like he's been coming here for a while. He came here 4 or 5 days before he killed himself, or was it a week or so?
Allegedly.
I thought it was like 3 days.
It was a short amount of time.
He came back for a little bit, and then when he came back the last time, so
So I am interested to... Okay, so this ghost hunter wants to come in and do this shit at night, but like, do we want to fucking bring this civilian?
Is it like
Into the house at
phasmophobia? Are they gonna like, who are you?
I don't know.
What's your name?
I don't know that.
How old are you?
What's phasmophobia?
It's gonna be like that.
You don't know what phasmophobia is? Okay, I'll tell you after.
I feel like I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
It's just like a ghost hunting
video,
game.
video game,
I found our
that's pretty
fuck
cool.
ups correction.
I'd play
Good.
that.
like a multiplayer.
Oh, interesting.
He died October 2nd, and he flew back. I don't know if this flew back to home or to here.
they can't fly back home. He's dead.
Well, I mean, on August 30th. So he was there
Been here for a while.
for a while, for a
Because
hot minute.
he did ask Hobbs if he can stay with him, and Hobbs was like, "You can't fucking stay at my house, man."
Well, yeah, he flew back I think when he flew back in August, he was trying to talk with Emil. I forget the whole details, but yeah.
Oh, and she wasn't returning his calls because she was dead. Is that it? Or...
So you guys are sitting there having your lunch when your phone rings, Agnes.
Yeah.
And you pick
Hi.
it up.
Mushy mushy.
How does Agnes answer the phone?
hello?
Okay. And you hear the voice on the other line is Director West. She's like, yes, I haven't been able to get what you asked for yet. I'm still working on getting everything in line with it, but it's gonna take me a little bit longer than I hoped for. So sorry. What else do you guys got going on? Is there anything else I can help you guys with?
I don't think there's anything directly that we needed from Director West at the moment. I mean, we were thinking about bringing the antique person by to look at the wall of mirrors. Yeah, there's not anything directly. Agnes would probably like look around and just like ask anyone it's Director West. If anyone has any requests at the time while she's working on my own.
We could have her ask follow up on our inquiries that we failed on. So more about the Torre family, figure out like where they are or what they're doing, more status updates recently, and getting plans for when the garage was built out from the original house. So, like we could have her chase down those leads, maybe.
Relays that information to Director
That's
West.
something she can help us with.
I think she would be like, I mean, I have more important things to be doing than those things. That seems like something that you guys should be able to handle out there by yourselves.
Okay. Agent Agnes was admonished,
Good going,
and she does
Agnes.
not like that. She does not like that. All right.
If it becomes life or death, obviously I will do what I can to pull strings, but I feel like that's something
Yeah, this is
you
what
guys
we're
should be
here
able
for.
to. That's why we put you in. That's why you're there. So she hangs up the phone. So what are you guys going to do for the rest of your days? You guys can try searching more. It's just going to take you guys time. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Agent Agnes will completely overthink that previous conversation and how she could have done better. Yes.
Well,
Go to her room and whip herself.
Strauss is going to the cemetery.
Okay.
Where something, a little blurb where it might have been taken from.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Agent Agnes will go with and continue to agonize over the conversation.
All right.
I'm gonna keep doing research. Like, we need to find some more information. So I guess I'll help out on Jim's inquiry about finding the public records. I mean, there's multiple ways we could look at that, like the
Yeah.
square footage increase. The garages aren't included in that, but the rest of the build out of the house could count. But also, they have to file a permit for most like building over a certain amount of
Well,
time.
they're supposed to, but I mean, again, not everybody follows the law.
Yeah, which is fine if I can get an affirmative, but not being able to find it and not getting the answer rather than. I guess it's true. I guess if they didn't file it at all, there'd be no status update.
All right. So
Go door to door. Hey, do you remember when they put that in?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, honestly, talking to the neighbors, I do think is something that we haven't done that is going to be
totally
important.
could. All right. Give me one more bureaucracy or history roll, unless you have at 40% or better.
All of us?
These two. By the two, I mean Reflex and Duffy. So do
Nada.
do you have history or bureaucracy at 40?
I mean, with my minus 20s, no.
Oh.
I would have hit him, but I didn't get no sleep.
Oh.
Dude. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Bureaucracy, 27 under 30.
Okay, perfect.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
So it takes you another probably like 2 hours to gig through all this. So you're looking specifically for when the slab was built, right?
Yes. I mean, just, yeah.
All right, making sure I get you the right information here. So you find that it would have been Michael Doherty is the time when you find. So it was put in after 1956. So
After
Doherty?
56?
yes. So you see that the house was sold in 1956 to George and Margaret Crease. Mm-hmm. It was later sold in 1960 to Michael Daughtry.
Oh,
you believe that
we don't-
Michael
We had a gap.
Daughtry.
That's a new person.
That's
we
the one
don't-
that you find.
That
on
was
there.
the gap. Yeah.
Yep.
So that was from 50...
60 to 63.
Well, 60 to 63, and 63 is when the Tourés moved in.
Yeah.
And I will say, because you pass, you find a death record for Daughtry.
What? Okay, you're owning it today.
Yeah.
What does it say? Suicide?
He died of
Sassuid,
an
as the radio
accident.
would say? An accident, my ass.
Like an accident. Ax. I'm reaching. I
Desert-
really want to win.
Death certificates with puns are my favorite one.
I'm trying to see if they put in here what he died from, but he's not important enough to.
Okay.
So he just died of an accident in the house, like he got electrocuted.
In
or
the
something
house,
like
though?
that.
Shock wire.
Yes.
He died by the shock wire.
Oh,
there
that's
you
what
go.
we'll say. Sure.
Perfect.
So, yeah, that's, I guess, my only other stop is to go to a local construction rental.
I will say, as you are doing as you're kind of researching, and I think it would be kind of a rabbit hole. So maybe part of that is you see that he bought the house after the previous tenants had, and you are looking at the history. You see Michael Crease and Margaret. You find an article from 1960 of a murder-suicide that took place in the house.
It's the Creases, we have that.
George Crease drove to a sporting good shop, bought a double-barrel shotgun and a box of 20 shells,
As you do.
drove home, shot his wife, and then himself.
Jeez.
As you do.
Well, I thought he was the one who tried to burn the house down. Was that before he did this?
Yes. So he shot his wife in the master bedroom, in the master bedroom, and then he set fire to the house before he shot himself. But neighbors extinguished the fires before it could spread.
Oh, so he tried to burn it, then shot himself, and then thinking it would burn the house, and it didn't. Got it. So it's not like he acknowledged that the burn failed and then shot himself.
That's just
Right.
failure to complete.
So yeah, so you find that as
Failure
you're
to
looking
launch.
for all this.
That's-
Damn.
That was Crease in 1960.
Yes.
And then we have that the next owner, Michael Daughtry.
He lived there from 1960 to 1963 because that's when the
He's-
Tourés moved in.
And he's the one that poured the new garage.
Yeah, he's the one that did
Okay.
it.
Okay, interesting.
So okay, that's what you guys find in your couple hours of search.
So I guess that
job.
is kind of suggests that it was haunted before the cement was poured, right? Yeah, because the whole crease is actually
Yeah, I don't think it was whatever's under there is haunted, but I think there is something under there, and I want to know what it is.
Yeah, interesting.
All right, so I think your guys' search for the cemetery, it's kind of out towards like the western end of Ellensburg, actually kind of right by Perkins. I'm not even joking. If you go north of Perkins and you follow like the road kind of curves a little bit, you take a left and then a right, and there's a little cemetery over there, and you find a cemetery plot. Are you looking for the Tourés?
Yes, I am.
Okay, yeah, you just find a spot there for Michael Touré. I think was the kid's name, and it's
Anton.
Anton, and it's kind of just dug up, and that's
I mean,
all.
clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, are there any other Tourés around there?
Nope.
Okay, I didn't think so. It's kind of weird to me that the family would bury the kid here and then go back to Canada.
Right.
But
Well, I mean, because the mom went crazy after that happened,
Yeah.
did she?
right? So,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
they probably were ready to call this place home.
Yeah.
And then she...
Well,
No.
then the father? No, they
Yeah.
the father just moved out with the mother and the remaining child,
Yeah, Rebecca.
Rebecca.
I don't... Was
Sorry,
it
Rebecca was the son.
Rebecca's a son?
Sorry, Rebecca was the mother. And then Anton was the son. The Adam was the father, and then the
Alice or LC?
yeah, Elise.
Elise?
Yeah.
Didn't the dad just take the daughter and leave the mom?
No, they took the
Both.
they took the
them both.
mom.
Yeah.
Oh.
The mom is just out of it. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, but you don't know how far between that and then if you guys remember that Rebecca Touré was hospitalized from that point on, and then Adam and his wife
did
left
not.
the area, but you don't know if maybe it was they tried to live there for a little bit more and just came too much, and then they dipped out. So
I didn't write any of that bit down, but okay. So they left.
yes,
I mean, so it looked like we could potentially put the coffin back in here if we snuck it in.
I
mean-
mean probably, but it's already
Yeah, it might. If that's maybe even more suspicious.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
someone
it's-
digs up a coffin 2 days later, they're like, "It's back."
It's been like. So, I mean, do I have that date right then? So he's been dead longer than 4 or 5 days. It's been 2 weeks at this point.
Yeah, if he died on the 3rd
The
and it's
second.
18th. Yeah, so it's been 16 days. Yeah,
And so the body's been out for 20 days.
yeah, it's out.
Maybe we just leave it in the green box.
probably. What's a green box there for?
Yeah.
Concur.
Okay, so what do you guys gonna meet with Emil tonight? Do you have any other things you want to do during the day, or?
So none of you guys are interested in digging up the newly poured garage slab.
Not particularly.
Part of the end goal.
Well, yeah, it's just not primary because I just think that, especially now that we know when it was poured, it's just the hauntings and everything just started so much earlier, and we just don't know much about that specific Matthew Daughtry. Daughtry. That it's I don't know if I suspect
the
Daughtry
rock star.
right now. If he's the one that poured the cement, you know what I mean?
But then again, you should pursue this because if you're right, you get bragging rights.
Yeah, true.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna go just start jackhammering myself.
Well, yeah, and like Chris said, we're gonna have to
Gross.
we're gonna have to have a game plan if we're gonna make that noise and how we're gonna handle that.
Yeah, that's exactly why I was like,
Need a group.
yeah, I definitely need backup on this. It's not gonna be something I can just handle myself. But
Nope, I'm just going to town on this.
Okay.
Brrr.
I got the physical power to help you if we really go that way, but I don't think it's necessary quite yet.
all right.
All right, so you guys gonna
meet up with a meal, or is that the plan?
Well, I'd like to get meal, but you're not well rested. But like, if we have everyone here, would you be okay doing it tonight?
Oh yeah, again, like he's just gonna get like a 5-hour energy or two and like fucking
Wait,
a
I
box
feel
of
like-
donuts and tough it out.
You're not talking about like digging up the concrete tonight, though.
No, we're talking
Okay.
about
No,
meal.
the ghost hunting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Meal's the
I
ghost
was
hunting.
just like, that's even more conspicuous.
Yeah, yeah. Like we were taking a bad plan and making it worse.
yeah.
No,
Alright.
just a ghost hunter.
All right, so you guys, we'll cut forward to tonight. What time you guys want to meet him there tonight?
3 a.m.
No,
Okay.
not that late.
Like probably 11:30, right?
Yeah,
like,
11.
like around there, so that he can get set up.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys, yeah. So he comes pulling up in a Geo Metro.
Dude, he's way too big for that fucking car.
Are Geo Metros like those Lego-looking cars?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
And you guys see a dire, overweight man get out of this Geo Metro.
As soon as he gets out, I like roll my eyes over at Duffy and Reflex.
He's a nice guy.
He looks like a cross between the comic book guy from The
I was
Simpsons
just gonna ask.
and the Milady meme.
Oh,
So, I will. If you guys go check out
You're like, oh.
our social medias, we'll have photos of him on there. I had my nephew draw up artwork
Aw.
for the NPCs that you guys had, so I'm vamping right now, so I can pull him up on my phone to show the two people who were not part of this earlier when we got here. So this is what he looks like to you guys.
look at that fellow.
Oh, very nice. Looks like a friendly face.
Yeah, so he gets out and he kind of looks at you guys. He's like, "You got mind grabbing some of the stuff from the back with me? It's a little bit of we gotta get a table set up. You get the computer and just a lot of stuff. I'm surprised the Metro fits it all, but she's reliable."
Need a hand.
I jump in because I want to like inspect the devices as I'm helping him carry.
Nice.
Them.
So he's just like, "Oh yeah, Professor Yarrow, nice to meet you."
Yeah, shake his hand, Ed.
Yeah,
Call me Strauss.
Strauss. All right. He's like, "And you, miss? What may I call you?"
Agent Agnes.
Well, this is a Delta Green friendly
Yeah.
too, so we can be a little.
Yeah, exactly.
Little.
Yeah.
He's like, "All right, well, let's get this all started. Please." Okay, so he kind of just like shuffles in there, kind of waddling. And when you grab his hand, it's sweaty.
Ugh.
Like it's just
That's how you
Clammy.
do.
yeah, clammy.
I mean, if
lick
you
your
grab my
palms.
hand right now, it's also clammy, but that's just because I'm that kind of person.
He's just kind of like, you see maybe like as he lifts up his arm, he's got like a little bit of pit stains.
That's how you do.
So,
And-
Chris,
Yes.
I'm just like this whole time. I'm going to be looking for, and let me know if I need to make a roll or anything. But I'm looking for signs of tampering on the devices or signs
Okay.
of him doing showmanship where he like clicks a button and then all of a sudden the frequencies go crazy.
What's your tech score?
Habit technology.
What's the actual score? What's the actual skill?
I guess what's your computer
Sigint?
science?
Okay.
Or Sigint or computer science. What are those scores?
So I don't have computer science, but I do have the Sigint at 60.
Cool, perfect. Okay, that's high enough to where I will let you know if
Okay.
he's bullshitting you,
Perfect.
like on that front.
Thank you.
So you guys help him get everything set up. He sets up a little table like in the den. He's like, "I can't believe I'm finally in here. This is it's kind of been a dream of mine to get in here, but I never
Wait.
really had a reason to come in here."
Wait, you're familiar with this house?
Oh yeah, I mean it's a local legend. I was telling these guys, the kids
a
come here on
local ghost
Halloween. They try to see who can stay in the house the longest before the ghosts get them. They go running out.
Oh God. Okay.
Did you think the local ghost hunter didn't know about the local haunted house?
You know, I hadn't thought about
He's like,
it.
it's I'm just trying to get a permit to come in here. They don't always let people in here. They're not a big fan of people coming in here, and they don't really want to break in here and trying to not get arrested or whatnot. No.
So,
'Cause we definitely
do
have
you
the
know
permits,
a
so
little?
just
Do you know a
shut up
little
and get
more
to
about
work.
the previous inhabitants then?
He's like, I can probably help. What exactly? Who?
We're just trying to put together a timeline. We could talk about it later.
He's like, yeah, absolutely. So he kind of gets all his stuff set up, and he's
Makes perfect sense.
like sets up a little table. He's got like his computer on there. He's got like puts on like a little EMF, like EMP, like on his. I don't know. He gets all his equipment on. And he's just like, all right. So we got probably another hour until we really want. It's why like we'll say it takes a half hour to get everything set up. So he's like, we got another half an hour here until things are really going to start popping off in the spirit world. I would assume. I just want to go over everything with you guys real quick. I don't know if you've experienced anything, but Ghosts aren't here to hurt you. They're just kind of just a manifestation of energy. They're just, they typically have a pattern that they follow where they're going to appear, they'll disappear again. It might be spooky, I get it, but just know that they're just here. They're part of this world. They're not going to hurt us. They're just going to be doing their thing. We're going to do our thing. Hopefully we'll capture their thing, and that's kind of the goal here. All right?
I think this one might be a little bit different.
He's like, I know you talked about some possession from a friend of yours, and I get that, but that seems very rare. But who knows? I mean, definitely walking in here, you could tell there is some, like long-term emotional energy that's been built up here. Could be from what's happened in the house, and I get that part. But I don't know. I don't really get the sense of any sort of demonic presences here yet. But I need to get a feel for the house and walk around it some more.
You know, yeah.
I can't wait till
there's
this guy
a room
dies.
I want to show you. You know, I know ghosts aren't here to hurt us. But, I want your take on something real here. Like, Strauss is kind of like, this fucking guy. I want to take him into the master bedroom. It's covered in blood, and it feels like you're walking through water. And
Okay.
just kind of see how he reacts to that. And I'll let him know, like, just so you know, a recent suicide happened in this room, but tell me what you feel here.
I'm going to have him do a roll here, and he kind of walks in there. And as he kind of walks in there, he's just like, oh yeah, no, definitely there's, definitely some sort of energy in this room. You can feel it in the air, right? Like, it feels like you're, here, let me get to it. He kind of, like, pulls out his, like, things, like, waving it over, kind of walking through there, trying to get any sort of a sense of anything. It's like, well, I mean, I'm not gonna know right away if we get anything. Obviously, I'm gonna have to go back and look at all the data, process through everything, see if we hear anything, and then obviously we'll let you guys know. But, I mean, definitely I could sense something's up in this room. Absolutely. This is probably the, is this the murder room? I'm assuming, I don't know all the details where people died. I just know people died in the house. Did some individuals die in here?
2 people died in the last year here, in this exact spot.
Okay, cool. It's like, oh, okay, that would explain it. There's probably just,
Would explain all the blood.
it's a lot of sadness. I mean, the dried blood, I get that part, but, I mean, it's dark, right? You got the flesh to the-
Jim Duffy's like belief is like just taking down further and further and further.
Yeah, this guy is kind of like, all right, this fucking hack.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to happen in an hour.
And so he kind of walks out of the room, gets everything set up. He's just like, okay, all right, everybody, it's
I'm keeping an ear out.
gonna be time. Again, just stay calm. We're not in any danger. We're gonna be fine. And he just kind of just like, okay, where do we want to start first?
Just for the record, Jim Duffy brought one of those shotguns in, and it's close to him at all times. I don't know if...
Nice.
Even after his, like, don't worry, we're not in any danger, like, he's gonna have his gun.
You weren't swayed by that?
Yeah, I feel more at danger now.
Yeah, just after what happened the night before, he thinks that it's always best to be armed.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Armed.
I mean, I always have my gun on me. Clark Strauss does.
Stay scrapped.
Not Tyler. Tyler doesn't have a gun.
So where do you guys start? You guys are standing here in the den. He's just kind of sitting there, kind of just... He's a mouth breather. He just can't... He just breathes through his mouth.
Strauss is standing off in the corner, just listening and staring
All right.
at him like...
So what you hear is... All right.
I think Ancient Agnes would just be super skeptical. Because, like, I mean, no, she'd just be, like, in the corner with, like, leaning against it with her hands, like, arms folded, and then just kind of, like, looking like, really? Really, this is what Delta Green does?
Yeah, dude, I'm thinking the same thing.
And so he's just kind of like...
So what's your experience with us recently in this organization? How'd you get involved?
And he just kind of looks, he's like, oh, I got brought on with, some various hauntings that happened in Spokane and Oregon, a couple other things that have gone on they needed my research with. I actually gave these two guys a dissertation I wrote on 2 of the experiences, if you want to read it.
Hey. Oh, really? Like, looks
Forgot
at
to
these
read
two.
He's like, oh, he's like, okay, all right, everybody, focus. Let's get our energies all in sync. Are we all ready?
For what?
Okay, fair enough,
This
fair
is
enough.
a serious question. Can I try to use nicotine again at the end of my day to keep me awake? Or is it just like you make one check in the morning, you see how many, up to 6
I
hours,
don't
and
know.
that's what you get?
I honestly don't know, so I'm fine saying go for it.
Okay, thank you. 3 hours.
Okay.
So
Cool.
yeah.
We're timed.
Yeah, I think you can do it multiple times per update. It's just like I think
Like getting addicted.
yeah, then you get addicted, and then like yeah. I'm sure there's some sort of roll to see if you get cancer or like if you critically fail or something.
I mean, we all know what happens if you fucking chew too much. So Jim Duffy's probably not in good shape.
Yeah.
I actually don't know what happens if you chew too much.
You
don't
can
even look into
You
it.
can get gum disease, and then you can lose your jaw.
It's
You can like lose
very-
your tongue and like yeah, it's bad, dude. It's bad.
It's not good.
You know what's in chew, right?
Tobacco and glass and
Yeah,
Nicotine
there's it's
chemicals.
it's whatever the like small glass is. Like
like
fiberglass.
fiberglass? Yeah.
It's fiberglass. That's what cuts your lip,
Yeah,
and
like-
then that's
yeah,
how the
it's
nicotine
Just
gets
the
in.
craziest thing to me.
Can you imagine people trying to like make this product and trying to sell it like that? Like,
Yeah.
oh, we're gonna have you chew on
Some
this.
glass in there.
That's literally how they were marketing it. Is like it just gets into your blood faster.
Like some guy, I remember in high school, some guy who's like 18 and able to buy it at the time was like, "Yeah, chew because it's got little glass cuts your lips and gets in there faster." And I'm like, "You're saying this like you're proud of what? What?
Yeah,
What
because
the
then
hell?"
there's like snuff, which is like the tobacco pouches that you put in that.
Yeah. So yeah, Jim Duffy uses quite often. So if we want to, if you want to make him suffer in that way,
No,
that's
no,
understandable.
not yet.
So okay, so he's just so he's like, okay, all right, here we go. Where do you want to start?
Dude,
Where do you think? Where he's like, "Man, we're just gonna go through. We'll sweep one side of the house. We'll come back through here. Then we'll do the other side. Sound good?"
we can go to spots that stuff has already happened.
Yeah, I was gonna say we do the same route as we did
Okay.
initially.
Cool. So you guys leave the den, go into bedroom number 2 on the map.
Yeah.
Is he bringing all his equipment with, or did
He's got like a couple things he's holding. He might even ask you guys to hold something,
Okay.
like explain it. He's like, "I'm gonna give you this heat gun. I want you to just kind of scan the room." He's like, kind of like shoots on Agnes. He's like, see how she shows up on the spectrum? See the colors? All right. If you see something in there, but it's in the darker blues, that typically means that they don't have a lot of heat. We're looking for cold spots. That's how they draw their energy, and they make the air around them colder, and then they coalesce. So look for temperature
Looking for cold
spikes.
spots. Gotcha.
But negative. All right, cold spots, not warm spots.
Yeah, cold
Okay, all
spots.
right.
Got it. Okay.
I do have a question
For him or for
for you.
okay?
In the den, above the couch or wherever can I just take a quick look at the gunshots?
Sure.
Where are they?
They're just like right in the ceiling.
Above the couch.
Yes.
To like the left or right of where?
Like it's like he went like this.
Okay. Cool.
So they're like pretty close proximity to each other. He's just like, any spirits in this house? We just want you to know we mean you no harm. We're just here. We want to talk if you have anything to say. I got a microphone in front of me. Feel free to let us know your name, where you're from, how you died. That would be great. But we're just peaceful. We're just here. We want to coexist here with you. Okay? And he's just kind of sweeping through the rooms.
So, start at bedroom 2.
You guys enter in the bedroom 2. Bedroom 2 was,
The door slammed behind us, and
yes.
we heard something in the closet. Anything in there? I mean, did he give me a little heat thing? Am I reading that?
I mean, if you want to have, maybe you have the EMP protector or the EMP thing, so you're kind of scanning through, waiting to see EVP, not electromagnetic pulse.
Yeah.
They might use those. I don't know.
Yeah,
Ghosts.
remember this is a child's room. There is it looked like it was in the midst of being redecorated when the house was vacated. So half of the room's wallpaper has been removed. So there's like this kind of blue sea field with cartoon ships from earlier pattern. And then there's just a old paint buckets and like and some tarps. And this is where you guys ran into the eyes in the closet. And so yeah, he's just kind of in here and just like, oh, all right. He's like, hold his headphone. Okay. I'm not getting. I don't have any sounds, but it doesn't mean they're not there.
Right.
And like occasionally you just see him just like, kind of like looking in the hallways, like, I don't know if a shadow moved out there or not. Did you guys see any shadow movements when you were in here?
Did we?
Well, Agnes saw like an old Victorian lady walk
Oh,
by.
Well, that was
like,
in
a
the.
window.
That's not in this room.
No, not this room, but like.
I mean,
it's
we
like,
could
"All right."
take you to where I saw something.
Okay, yeah, no, let's head that way. Where'd you see something?
Master bathroom.
And so he makes his way into the master bedroom. He's kind of just like shining, like taking photos, like taking video of everything as you guys walk through here.
Imagining this like the Ghost Hunters. TV
Yeah,
show.
exactly. Yeah. And I didn't mention this before, but as you guys kind of like flash the lights through the bedroom, you notice there's like chips in some of the mirrors. And they were there from before, but
Like what do you mean? Chip? Like
Gouges?
cracks in the mirror?
like something like embedded in them. Like something like forcefully got embedded into the glass.
Buckshot?
Wow. Feels relevant.
Could be buckshot, could be human skull. You don't know, but
Is it a good time to try to
you can go take a look.
dig it out? If we have maybe like a knife in our pocket or
Sure,
something?
yeah. I'll say you walk over there and start kind of picking at one, and yeah, you pull out like a piece of looks like skull, and you know that the one guy shot his wife in this room.
Yeah.
So they haven't replaced the mirror since then, though.
What's a big antique?
Yeah.
It is an antique. Can I do like a forensics roll to see if I can get any more information out of it?
What's your forensic at?
Fit-
Yeah, you know it. It's a skull.
It's just
It's. And he's just like, where'd you go? What'd you got there? Okay. It's just there. So he's kind of walking through. He's
Nothing. I brought the skull from home.
I mean, it's probably like that.
Yeah, teeny.
He kind of goes into the bathroom. He's like, all right, what did you guys see exactly in here?
Is there water in the tub, or is it empty?
Empty.
Well, there was a body in the tub.
A body in the tub.
It's hard to explain. There was and there wasn't a body. Look, it was weird.
Make him roll sanity for that. Okay, he's just like...
And I would explain, like...
He's like, well, I mean, there are... Manifestations can happen. It's part of what happens in these things. You probably you saw it trying to... did the room get colder when it happened?
Did it?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I'm just asking you. I wasn't there.
I was a little too busy to notice that.
And it's like, well, next time, if you guys ever see anything that happen, next time, just take a second, take a deep breath, try to sense what's going on with the environment, see if you feel anything, and then, it helps us coordinate.
I
and
definitely
triangulate
felt
things.
the body.
He's like, okay, all right, sure, yeah, I'm sure. Sometimes manifestations can feel real like that. Your brains are going to play tricks on you. It happens all the time. And he's just kind of just like, he walks through the bathroom, nothing happens.
Okay.
Can we maybe, I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but have we thought about like giving him some very vague or misinformation just to see if this guy just goes off what we're telling him, or if he's
I thought about
actually
that, actually.
useful?
But maybe not for now. Let's get through the house and see.
Okay.
So far, he hasn't been useful.
No.
So, yeah, I think you guys probably go to the garage next, right?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Okay. As you guys are approaching the door, kind of everybody's sitting there waiting, and he's just kind of sitting there. You see him like he's kind of got like something. He kind of like puts his hand to his ear. He's just like, "Do you guys hear that?"
Did we hear anything?
And he's like, he like takes his headphones off and like he like holds them out. It's like, "Here, so someone listen. Make sure I'm not crazy." And like, he's like wide-eyed.
Okay, I'll put the headphones on.
All right, Strauss, you put on the headphones, and you hear someone in the garage, like on the other side of the garage door, is whistling.
Like he's holding the mic to the door, and I hear.
He's like, yeah, he's got like an amplifier, as he kind of like hears it against the door, and he can hear like someone out there.
Okay, I hand him the headphones and push the door open. And yell, "Who's there?"
Okay,
And shine a flashlight.
All right, you kind of push the door open. And did you guys didn't turn the lights on, right, or anything like that?
I don't think so.
We hadn't, and I assumed I'm following this dude's lead.
Especially at night. I don't want to draw any attention to
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So I think you're kind of shining your light in there, like looking around, and yeah, you don't see anybody in there. So go ahead and give me a sand roll.
He's going to take a sand roll too.
You knew this.
Yeah, I know. I always got to check.
Do you think that Levi would be able to recreate the tune?
72 over 55.
You take 1 point of sanity damage. And he's just kind of standing there. It's like, oh, we got something. We got that. Oh, yeah, we did.
I grab the headphones. Grab the headphones back from him, put them back on. Do we hear it still?
You don't hear anything.
Okay.
And we'll see how this goes next time.
No shit. No.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jake. Thanks for sticking with us for one of our player catch-ups that we've been doing. I'm going to go ahead and interview our handler for this game, Chris. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm sitting in my basement, hanging out. Still don't have any kids here as we record this. So that's still weird, but yeah.
A lot of free time.
Yes, so much free time.
So what got you interested in trying tabletop games?
I really didn't fuck around with tabletop growing up. Like, I remember some of the church kids in high school were playing D&D 3.5, and I was kind of friends with them, but I wasn't. And they're just like, hey man, you want to come play? I was like, no, you guys are fucking nerds. Like, fuck off. But it wasn't until I got to college. I went over to college in Ellensburg. Spoiler alert, that's why we're doing the campaign in Ellensburg, because I love that place. And my buddy Gus ran a comic shop there, and I remember he used to do D&D night, and I remember seeing the D&D 4th edition books and being like, what the fuck is this? This looks wild. And I remember I just ended up buying the player's handbook one day and just sitting down and trying to understand it and read through it. And Gus was cool enough to let me do, it was the Dark Suns. D&D used to do a D&D day. Wizards of the Coast used to do a D&D day, and they released Dark Suns 4E. And for those who don't know, Dark Suns is kind of this post-apocalyptic world setting they made where everything is ruled by this cabal of wizards, and the earth is pretty much like a barren wasteland, and they've sucked up all of the natural resources. And so everything's made of bones. Like, if you find a metal weapon, you're set for life. So, like, there was this really cool mechanics where if, like, you rolled a critical failure on a strike, like, you broke your weapon. I was like, this is fucking cool. And so I got really into D&D playing that, like, one time. And Gus was cool enough to let me sit down, and I went to his friend's house, and we ran Keep of the Shadowfell, which was the first 4th edition module. We ran it in a weekend with 5 of us. And ever since then, I was hooked. And when I moved back here, I realized I would probably have to become a DM because I didn't know anybody, and so I just started grabbing up anybody that would play and just started running games with them.
Wow, so you've been DMing since
2010, 2008,
wow.
I think, when I graduate. 2008. I've been DMing since 2008.
Damn.
Yeah, I still remember my first home game I ran, my first campaign. I had a whole fucking scenario set up where this young girl was going to come bloodied into town and try to recruit the heroes to go help. And I set it up, and then I got to that point, and she comes running up to get all the people to help. And there's like, the fuck would we go help this person for? I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, the inn will give you a free week's worth of stay and 200 gold and all this shit. And finally got him to go along with his adventure. But yeah, I will never forget that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been DMing for, was that 14 years?
And how many times a year, how many sessions a year would you say you get to play as a player?
I didn't get to play as a player until it was 2012 or 13.
Wow.
I had a friend who was running a 4th edition game, and by that time I didn't really like 4th edition, but I wanted to play in the game, and so I got to play, did a full campaign there. That's the only full campaign I've ever played in. I got to play a little bit of 3.5, and that game fell apart. I really liked that character too. I thought that I had a really cool character concept. It was the first time I'd ever worked with a GM to like have an idea for my character. I'm like, hey man, like I want him to find this. I don't care when he finds it, but like this is important to him. So if you could work this in there, that fucking rules. Like I would love it. And it was a great sessions. Like I thought it was really fun. But yeah, other than that, as of recently, I think the only other games, everything else I've really played in has been Tyler running. Tyler and I had a short-lived superhero game we were playing. That was a lot of fun. I broke it and I felt bad.
Coach.
Yeah. I made a guy his superhero ability was making everybody around him better. So he was a high school sports coach. He coached like soccer and volleyball and all this stuff.
So good.
And that was his whole powers. Everybody else was better because of his words and inspirations. So I got to throw out like all these shitty sports metaphors and it was a blast. And then most recently, Tyler's been running a Pathfinder 2nd edition game that I've got to play in with you.
Yeah,
I got
very fun.
Jonathan Durst, who is a hybrid, who looks like Skeet Ulrich, and he's a hybrid between Jonathan Davis and Fred Durst. Yeah. Everything was new metal. I thought that'd be funny, so.
And it was.
Yeah, I think that's really the only playing experience I've had.
Sheesh.
I've found that I don't really like playing it. I mean, it's fun. It's cool to be on the other side, but I feel I'm much more conscious of like, what can I do to help the GM out? Like,
sure.
I've realized it a lot as I play, like especially like playing with Tyler. Like he's, this is his first time running Pathfinder 2e, so I'm like, okay, what can I do that's going to make this easier for him?
Right.
What are these things I can do? Like, what can I do on my off time to make sure that I'm maximizing so I can help him get things through?
Totally.
But I've got to play like one kind of Delta Greenish game. It was like a one shot with a friend, and it was a blast. I loved it so much. We played Cthulhu Dark, I think it was. So I mean, I'd like to be in a long term campaign. I'd like to do something that's not fantasy based. I mean, 90% of my stuff has been fantasy, so I get it. That's the big draw. But yeah, I think I definitely prefer being a GM more than I do a player. I've come to realize.
Yeah.
So.
And what made you want to make a podcast?
I'd done it before. I had a short-lived podcast called Age of Runark, where we played through a system called Fantasy Age, and it did pretty well. I don't really know the statistics. I think we had like 200 or 300 downloads every time we released an episode. We were the only Fantasy Age podcast there for a while. And then we started season 2, and that fell apart. I did one for a while called Comics Brew, where we drank beer and talked about comics, but then I kind of fell out of comics and stopped that. And also I had kids.
Right.
That just became kind of a more important thing, as it should be if you have kids, like kind of what you focus everything on.
Yeah.
I did a podcast with Misha and my friend Rick for doing horror stuff. And then I did another actual play podcast called Dream, which is Dice Rule Everything Around Me. And we released 2 seasons. And then I did the second season fell apart. I made some poor choices, bringing somebody in who didn't really jive with everything. And then it just got kind of convoluted and we quit. So I was really hesitant to do this again. I really was. I wanted to make sure I had a group that was as committed to it as I am.
Yeah.
And not to say that the other groups didn't have that, but it's tough when I'm the one doing a lot of the stuff. And at least in this group, we have people who are offering to help and whatnot. And I wanted to be very upfront when we started talking about this. Like, I'm really good at this. I'm not good at this. So if someone could take this on, that would be awesome, because I don't want to worry about it. But I thought we had a good dynamic. I really like this group's dynamic. I think everybody's really fun to play with. And that was the big thing. Like, I felt like this could be a successful podcast of friends sitting around playing. And I hope that comes across as, us more than anything having those moments. But yeah, it really just came down to, it felt like a really good group to do it with. And I felt like we could all tell really interesting stories, because I feel like everybody's really committed to it, if that makes sense.
A lot of good storytellers at the table.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Sure. Yeah. Why Delta Green?
That was really you guys. I had the idea of doing a Blades in the Dark game, which is another system I really enjoy reading. I've really got to play like 2 or 3 sessions, and I really like the style of it. But Delta Green, I got into Delta Green, like you said, through Pretending to Be People was a big thing for me, and then GCP when they did Get in the Trunk.
And I love horror movies. I did a horror movie podcast with Misha. And so that aspect of it was really fun to me, and it's really simple, and it was a challenge. I mean, I've never run a horror game before. And so it was very much how training myself and getting in that moment of how can I make a table full of people feel uncomfortable? Like, where are those pauses to take? When do you interject on things? How do you set it up to where you can get them to feel like spooked out when it's all in our heads? Yeah. There's nothing there. And so I really approached it with that as I want to challenge myself to run a game that I've never really run before. Like, and I've done Delta Green in the past, but everybody being here, like I still remember one of the sessions I run with in our Rise of the Rune Lord game with Misha. They were staring into a cell in like a sane asylum, and in the book it says like the guy jumps up at the thing and grabs it. And so I was kind of going through and telling everybody what they were doing, and they were talking about what was happening, and I knew Misha was like made sure she was right by the cage. And as they were talking, I just reached out and grabbed her on the shoulders. And it was like something grabs you on your shoulders and shakes you, and like she lost it. Like it freaked her out, and like I felt bad. Like she was very cool with it, but like afterwards, it's like that was kind of a. Yeah, I mean that's what I wanted. I wanted that realness, and so I think like with us doing this, I'm trying to pick my moments on where to interject stuff and try to make it creepy. But I think that's mainly it. I love Delta Green. I think it will make the fact that it's such an easy, light system. Yeah. There's not a lot of rules discussions. There's not a lot of getting bogged down by all that. It's just a lot of role playing. I mean, I think at this point, we've done 4 episodes, and I think the last 2 episodes, we've rolled the dice only for sanity checks.
Yeah, exactly. It's only been sanity checks.
I love that aspect. That you have a skill high enough, you don't need the roll. I'll just give you the information. That is so fucking cool.
Especially, and I mean, we haven't really touched on this, but I will just let the listeners know that Chris has a hand that's been touched by God.
Yeah.
When he rolls, if he were to roll 10d20, 8 of those rolls would probably be over 16.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not an exaggeration. It's not a lie.
No, it's not.
So Chris has literally told all of us, I'm looking into systems where I don't roll the dice.
Yep.
And this is it.
That is 100%. I notoriously have a very good rolling hand. Yeah. There have been, I think in our Pathfinder 2E game, I've rolled like back-to-back 20s on attacks
several
2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
So happened, yeah. I like the ability to take that out of my hands because I feel bad when that happens. So.
Yeah, it gets a little rough sometimes.
Yeah.
What did you do to prepare for this as far as your inspiration goes?
I read the book 1,000 times.
Wow.
I've flipped through that book so many times. I think about this book day and night. It's probably not. Yeah, I'm not even lying. Like I will sit down and just like I'll type stuff out if I'm at work. That's where like I made Calvin Hobbes at work. I sat down and was like, I need something to connect the dots here. I need something that's feasible to connect the dots, and I created that and kind of started fleshing that all out. But yeah, for me, I don't really. I didn't want to. I'm nervous to answer what I watch because I don't want to give away kind of the volume of it. But a lot of it was me, just reading the book over and over again, going through the player's handbook, going through the GM guide, kind of looking at that. And then the big thing for me is trying to connect what's going on now with the next arcs, what I've got planned for the next arcs, and how I can tie that and start weaving little hints and whatnot in. But I've seen a lot of horror movies, so I kind of I think that's the thing I've been noticing more when I watch those kind of things is like noticing the beats of like, okay, well, they're getting the music up here. Something's going to come, or are they going to do a delayed one? And trying to understand those beats for our game of how can I get that? So that's been the main thing.
What do you enjoy doing for fun? What are your summer hobbies?
Like I said, I make dice. That's a lot of fun. I don't really sell a whole lot of them as of now. I think I'm sitting on like 15 sets. I need to sand down and do all that. And I make music. All the music you hear in the podcast is me sitting down with my shitty MIDI keyboard and pumping it out. I love doing that. And other than that, I mainly just hang out with my kids, try to be a part of their lives, and go hiking with them and take them to go do stuff and be a parent.
Yeah.
So,
and then lastly, did you have any social media that you wanted to pitch?
If you want to see my dice, I think it's Bandit Dice or Bandit.dice. I don't remember what it is. It's one of those two. So you can look that up on Instagram. I don't have a Facebook. I despise Twitter. I loathe most social media. So that's the only thing I have, and I don't really update that very much either.
Sure.
So you can go see dice sets there, and maybe they'll pop up occasionally. I've made new ones. But yeah, I think that's about it. I don't really do social media. That's not my thing. So
Hell yeah.
I think that's all of us.
Yeah, pretty much. Once we make our own little podcast thing, we'll pitch that.
We'll have to be better at that. So yeah.
All right, man. That wraps it up.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, have a great day.